Some men walk into a room and women notice, not because of flashy clothes or a charming smile, but because of something deeper, something primal. You've seen it. He doesn't need to speak, and yet the air shifts. Eyes follow, hearts race. What is that? Why do certain men have this magnetic pull, a kind of gravitational field that makes women lean in even when they try not to? Why do others, despite being kind, wealthy, even attractive, seem invisible? This isn't about dating tips. It's not about tricking anyone. This is about a type of energy, masculine energy, and not the kind performed through loud bravado or gym selfies, but the one rooted in depth, psychology, and raw existential force. Because the truth is, women don't obsess over surface-level men. They obsess over something much older, something they feel before they understand. And today, we're breaking it down. There's a presence some men carry, heavy, grounded, unshakable. It's not about posture or how deep your voice is. It's about energetic control. A man fully anchored in himself creates a psychological ripple effect in every room he enters. Stillness, for example, isn't passive, it's deliberate. The man who doesn't fidget, who doesn't rush to fill silence, who isn't pulled by external chaos, radiates certainty. In evolutionary psychology, this signals safety and dominance at once. He's not reacting to the environment, he's influencing it. And others, especially women, instinctively pick up on this. This kind of presence stems from internal calibration, a deep sense of self-worth, not derived from validation, but forged through solitude, failure, and discipline. You can't fake it, because when you've faced chaos and chosen to stay still, that energy follows you. Women don't consciously say, he's calm, therefore he's strong, but their nervous systems register it. He feels like the eye of a storm. That's what makes the pulse quicken, not noise, not gestures, not volume, but still, directed presence. It's the man who looks once and means it. The one whose energy says, I'm here by choice, not accident. That level of control is rare, and rarity breeds obsession. Nice guys often believe that saying yes earns them love, but in reality, it breeds the opposite, invisibility. The men who make women obsess aren't always agreeable. They're sovereign. And sovereignty begins with boundaries. When a man has boundaries, he's saying, I value my time. I know who I am. I will not bend to please. This isn't arrogance, it's clarity. Psychologically, boundaries communicate a rare signal, self-respect. And that, paradoxically, makes others respect you more. From an evolutionary lens, a man who isn't easily swayed is perceived as having higher status. Why? Because he's not desperate for connection. He already has internal validation. That scarcity of emotional availability creates tension, and tension, when balanced with presence, breeds magnetism. Here's the paradox. The more a man is willing to walk away, the more others want him to stay. He doesn't chase approval, he filters it. And that filtration, that refusal to tolerate disrespect, triggers something ancient in the female psyche. Challenge. Think of it like this. The man who agrees with everything dissolves into the background, but the one who calmly disagrees, who walks away when disrespected, becomes unforgettable. Not because he's trying to be, but because his standards are non-negotiable. Women may not articulate it, but they feel it. He's not just available, he's chosen. And that changes everything. But here's the part most men never hear. the trait that scares women and seduces them at the same time. There's a difference between being safe and being harmless. Harmless men are forgettable, but the man who radiates restraint, the kind that implies he could destroy but doesn't, is unforgettable. This is what Carl Jung called the shadow, the dark primal side of the psyche we're taught to suppress. But when a man integrates that side, his aggression, his ambition, his anger, without letting it consume him, he becomes whole. And that wholeness, it's magnetic. Women don't consciously crave danger, but they are drawn to power, especially power that's restrained. Why? Because it communicates discipline. It's not chaos, it's command. The man who could hurt but chooses to protect. The man who could dominate but leads instead. This contrast creates polarity, the electric difference between masculine and feminine energy. And in that polarity, obsession is born. The more you control your edge, the more others sense its potential. That quiet intensity, that undercurrent of strength, it doesn't need to announce itself. It's just there. Controlled aggression isn't about being violent. It's about being capable and choosing integrity anyway. That choice, felt, not spoken, is what sets some men apart. So what makes a man truly unforgettable is not charm, it's not wealth, it's not even looks. It's presence, the silent kind that makes others lean in. It's boundaries, the kind that signal you answer to no one but yourself. And it's power, not loud, but contained, mastered. This kind of masculinity can't be faked, because it isn't a tactic, it's a transformation. A man must face the parts of himself society told him to bury, his rage, his hunger, his fear, and bring them to the surface, not to act on them blindly, but to know them, to control them. That's when he becomes whole. That's when he becomes magnetic. Women don't obsess over perfection. They obsess over presence, over that rare, almost mythic quality of a man who is not trying to prove himself because he already knows who he is. That quiet self-assurance, it's not taught. It's earned. Most will never get there because it takes solitude. It takes rejection. It takes building a backbone instead of a persona. But those who do, they become forces of nature, and nature doesn't chase, it attracts. So here's the truth. When you stop reaching and start embodying, obsession becomes inevitable, because people crave what they can't predict, what they can't control. You want obsession, become rare, become rooted, become real. And if this made you rethink how you move through the world, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it.